Hello again, welcome to yet another episode of the JMAA Live Deluxe Podcast. I'm your host, JMAA, and Connie. Uh, this is a bit weird because I think some of the shorts videos that were featured in the podcast channel did actually work out pretty well at some point. I don't know how is it going, but I can watch it right now. But yeah, today's topic, Karens. I think that was Connie's idea at some degree, isn't it?
It was because ever since the pandemic happened, it seemed to be that there was just an absolute rise in these videos of what people started calling Karens. There was there's a few other names like Barbecue Betty and a couple others that just these middle-aged to older ladies that just absolutely cannot mind their own business, nor can they just sit there and let people have a good time, because if they're not having a good time, no one else can have a good time.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because it's kind of like a post-pandemic thing, isn't it?
It started like it gained traction with the pandemic, and it's continued onward. Um, these people like that, like the Karens, have always been around, more or less, from what I could tell, but they actually gained traction, and they were actually like brought out to the front online since the pandemic.
Yeah, it makes sense because I think it kind of somewhat relates to that time period during the pandemic where people were snitching people who were out of the confinement or something, and like they were
Oh,
basically snitching to the government or whatever about people who get out of their homes when in the middle of the confinement or something, right? Or something like that.
uh,
I remember something like that happening or somewhere, right? I don't know about
it's
it.
that they were doing that. They were also doing the opposite. They were screaming about masks and like being upset, like, "Why are you wearing a mask? You don't have to wear a mask. I have a medical exemption." Like,
Yeah, it's a bit
that's
weird.
not how that works.
I don't know. It's a bit silly.
Oh, it's something like there are YouTube channels dedicated to just people having encounters with Karens and ripping on Karens, and um can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but there's one that like their thumbnails are like the funniest thing ever. Like, I'll have to send you a link to them, because there's like thumbnails of like you know about like WWE and MMA and stuff in the US, right? So you know some of
Yeah,
the athletes.
yeah,
So
the wrestling scene, isn't it?
yeah, so you know who Brock Lesnar is, right?
Not familiar with it. I'm more familiar with people like the Undertaker and Hulk Hogan and maybe someone like Vince McMahon or something. I don't know. Maybe
Um,
maybe something in those lines or like John Cena or something. You know, the Chamberlain guy.
okay, so Brock Lesnar, he's kind of built like John Cena, but think bulkier with a more squat head, and he's the one that has the the flat top cut, like almost to the close of being like Guile from Street Fighter,
Yeah.
but like not as flared out and wild. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they took Brock Lesnar and they had him pointing a fucking gun at a Karen, and
What?
like there's these, yeah, that's the thumbnail. Like they photoshopped it to make him pointing a gun at a Karen, and there's so many like first person views of like the first person view of a gun being pointed at Karens, and Karens getting beat up and shit, and like it is just wild.
I don't know. I
And it's
think.
like
Yeah.
they're I was just gonna say they're all Photoshop jobs, but like it's like that really bad funny Photoshop.
Yeah, I think it's probably on the lines of there was a YouTube poop back then that was exemplary of like the crappy Windows Movie Maker tier YouTube poops from that time. I think it was like something in the lines of Luigi Spaghetti Dinner or something. It had crappy MS Paint jobs during the whole video, and I think it might be kind of a similar thumbnail, I guess. Or do you mean like I don't know, because I've seen plenty of anti-SJW thumbnails from anti-SJW YouTubers in the short from that time period, and maybe that's what you probably mean, that level of the quartering insanity kind of thing. I don't know. Because
And
I've probably seen crazier, the quartering or neurotic thumbnails that are sound similar to that, I guess.
they're something else, and it's like it's closer to the YouTube poops than it is quartering one. Um, like I'm trying to look it up now for you.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I can,
Like
I can imagine something like that, but I don't know if you don't actually show me that. I don't know what you mean. Basically, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. Thumbnails, they're like a bit of an art style of itself. I think. Speaking of thumbnails, I've been noticeably consistently at some point using a thematic use of red and black for nearly like the especially most of the thumbnails for the JMAA TV channel, right? And sometimes they try to invoke that sort of like weird artistic aesthetic of invoking curiosity on the viewer or something like that. They try somehow to be like at some point, I tried to imitate something in the lines of Disrupt TV or something at some degree, but then I don't know, I just went through with it and just went crazy with. You seen probably in like the Chat GPT video, right? The one about the PlayStation Stop sound, like that. That video is probably the out of the usual formula, I guess. There's, I don't know. I have like a bunch of thumbnails saved in the burner for other sorts of videos, but I think I deviated from the red and black formula because red isn't that much of a visible or like attention calling color, I guess, compared to something like white. It's like at least from lettering, it's not as readable as a white letters. I don't know. Creating a good thumbnail that actually sort of calls the attention of someone enough to click on a video is hard work by itself, even to the point of trying to make it beforehand. You make the entire script or the title of the video. You know what I mean?
well, that's how you get someone's interest is the thumbnail usually. I'm pretty sure you remember back in the day. Oh my god! So I found the channel that's got all those. I'll have to send you this. But back in the day, and I think there are some channels that still do it. They'll have just like a random picture or screenshot from the video, and then they'll put like a random neon red like
Knife?
arrow pointing.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no,
no
not
arrow,
knife, but
arrow.
like
Yeah,
I remember the 1,000 degree knife stuff like that. That got wild
yeah.
too.
I know
That
that
was
too. Yeah.
similar vein. Uh, but they like would just point at random stuff with the arrow that wasn't even in the video, or like brought attention to it. Like oh, there's nothing special about what happened there,
It's it's a
or
bit
like it was completely
it's
different.
really weird clickbait stuff. It's like I don't know. It's like the type of content that will be generated in a sweatshop. Apparently, I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of have the feel of that, and it's kind of weird. It's like a time capsule from another time period, if you know what I mean. Like it's strange it's alien to the current time period because nowadays, lately, you usually get like at least the Mr. Beast type of thumbnails, right? Where it's more sort of packed in this family friendly commercialized product style kind of thing, like in a McDonald's meal, right? But
Yeah.
those are a bit like a bit of a time capsule in some regard. Like I remember even not just the 100,000 degree knife thing, right? But also like the fidget spinners and like then
Oh
the
God, yeah, it's like 1,000 spinners on the thumbnail, and
yeah, and like there's also the typical formula of the let's play with a screenshot of the game or something, and like the face of a guy soy jacking to the extreme with a silly face on the side of the thumbnail. Like, I don't know, you can bait some sort of shock or whatever. It's like the PewDiePie time period thumbnails or something. It's I think it's that kind of similar in that vein. I think it's like a whole Twitter account dedicated to shitty thumbnails. I think I don't remember what it's called, but like everything it tweets is just basically shitty, crappy thumbnails from random YouTube videos.
oh yeah, because like they're usually like the ones that are just like no effort whatsoever,
Yeah,
clickbaity, and because I don't think I'm following the Twitter account, but I have seen the account before.
yeah, and I also see like a recent. I seen this in Parasitical's channel, right? When the video is telling on something along the lines of huge X drama, and the thumbnail is a tweet, a fake tweet, presumably, of someone saying like, "Oh, goodbye," or "Yeah, I'm done," or something along the lines, like a famous Twitter account with a tweet in the thumbnail. It's a typical formula in the parasitical circle of YouTubers, commentary YouTubers of the 2016 era, I think. It's, I mean, it's kind of annoying because most of Parasitical's videos on the Paralive channel are mostly filler, basically. It's basically what you expect from trying to fill 10 minutes of video with nonsense garbage nearly entirely until you're filling the 10-minute quota or something. And like it's kind of effortless at some degree. Like
Yeah, which it got to a point that he was joking about like it was actively like a joke in the video. Oh well, I gotta make it to 10 minutes.
yeah, it's but one thing is joking about it, but like actually doing it's unnecessary. I like it's
I I feel like um
I
and
guess he's doing it for a meme, but come on, it's Wild Spartans. You remember that guy? He's now called Spans on YouTube, right? But he used to be Wild Spartans. Now he makes like really
oh
quick.
God, yeah, yeah.
Now makes really quick, like below 2 minute or 1 minute videos, or like something like that of the commentary type, right? And
Yeah,
it gets
because
just right
he
to the point. It's just
I was gonna
that.
say, because he used to be like one of those folks that I can't remember the name of that one game, but it's like you had like that glove that you had to pull yourself from one place to another. Because
Ah,
Leafy would play that game, and
yeah.
then like
I know
Counter
the game, but
Strike.
I don't know the name basically. But
Yeah,
yeah, I know what game you're talking about.
yeah, it's like that, and like Counter Strike. The maps.
The surf maps, yeah.
Yeah, it's like because he used to do like that kind of video content, and I think like Overwatch and stuff too. Back when Overwatch didn't fuck its players over.
Yeah, and I think it's a case of adapting to new times, probably, especially trying to innovate a bit because Wild Spartans, I guess he's trying to innovate with this sort of stuff, at least in the commentary YouTube genre. But I mean, I know it's not much, but it's something at least. compared
Oh
to
yeah,
someone like
because
Pyro or something. And then you have people like Colossal who barely fucking upload anything. Like most of the time, Colossal will upload like a video documentary or a video essay or whatever, exposing a YouTuber or whatever. And he rarely fucking uploads. He's mostly busy with the To Be Honest podcast or um whatever Colossal is doing with his buddies on the To Be Honest podcast, like
oh, oh
or
god,
like
yeah,
live
because
streams. Yeah, he live
yeah, because
streams,
Colossal barely like posts like regular videos anymore.
and that's like the running joke in the commentary community is that by the time uh I don't know YouTube closes down, Colossal might have uploaded a video. Like that's
But oh,
he,
go
he
ahead, go ahead.
yeah, he might get fucking super old and die of old age before he uploads a new video. Maybe he will post a new video beyond the grave or something. That's like the running joke of Colossal is crazy. That he sounds like an old person.
He actually kind of does. Thinking about it. No,
Well,
no
yeah,
offense,
it
Colossal.
kind of
I,
it kind of
I, I,
sounds
li-
like
I
a
like your
really
voice.
yeah, I like it too. It's like, oh, it sounds like a really posh voice in a British accent, that type of shit.
He's like old school posh, and
It kind of sounds a little bit snobby too, I think, but I don't know.
but I think he does that like the snobbiness on purpose because usually the folks he goes after, like especially in like the ones he makes videos on, like they're not the best people.
Yeah, the last thing he did was like a collab with Nerd City about J Station.
Yeah, because
And yeah, like J Station is not really put in a good light. Right? He's being considered the worst YouTuber on the planet. Well, to be frank, I know worse cases, but you know what I mean. Um, the whole video is it's gonna be a two-parter, and so far the first part is like what 30 minutes or 1 hour.
yeah, it's 1 hour. I'm looking at his channel now, and
Yeah, it's like
uh,
1 hour for the first part, and I don't know about it. Like especially we got to a point where we generate really long videos, and like this kind of format is working out, especially when you somehow combine it with the new features like shorts or whatever. And I think that's like a strategy I've been trying out for like the last weeks or so. Is that to try to somehow create a link between shorts and long form content. Just sort of. I mean, the shorts the shorts purpose is just to generate subscribers and try to build up an audience or something, right? Or eventually, because I think these are the ones that generate the most subscribers apparently, and sometimes they will blow up out of nowhere. So my exposure with shorts is way bigger than there is with long form content, and then like long form content's purpose is to somewhat funnel the audience into some sort of like newsletter or external content to YouTube or something. That's what the way I imagine how it's working out for me, at least. But there's like a general trend of like video essays of say 1 or 2 hours. I think we already talked about this in the previous episode, right? Where there's even a Code Lyoko video essay of about 1 or 2 hours. We already talked about that. And like,
well, I was
yeah,
gonna say I've got one to top that. Last night, um, I sat through the entirety of a Legacy of Kain retrospective. That was, I think, 5 hours long.
I mean, it's not as long as Quentin reviews video about iCarly. I'll
Oh
get
no,
you that.
God no.
Who will
But,
watch
but
8 hours? Everybody said, who will watch 8 hours of this? And seemingly, apparently, a lot of people seem to watch 8 hours of this stuff because
oh
I can imagine the amount of views that video has already got, and the subsequent videos after it.
Now I want to see just the views and everything because I've got an app on my phone that it can check likes and dislikes. Like it actually shows the dislikes now.
Yeah, I think it was it like a YouTube alternative app or something that let you see dislikes, I think.
Yep, It's you have to modify the YouTube app, but it's like Android only.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know. But I think I'm familiar with it. I just don't remember the name out of the blue, but
Uh, uh,
yeah. Well, go on.
uh, so I was just typing it in, and he's done a 5 fucking hour long video on the scandalous salmon cat.
Ooh, okay.
Like
And
like like the the sequel series to iCarly.
Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
it's becoming a meme. Like, the Quentin Reviews meme is still going on. Like,
Well,
and
there's a whole retrospective for the entire Elder Scrolls series that is 24 fucking hours.
wait, what? 24 hours?
Yes. Yes.
24 fucking hours? I
Just for the Elder Scrolls.
I cannot believe you. Where's the fucking link?
I'm sending it to you.
Ch- I'm I'm without words.
Correction, it's 12 hours.
Oh,
But it's like
good fucking grief. It's 12 hours. 24 hours
the, the Elder
is a bit
the
too
Elder
much.
Scrolls 4 The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Analysis, a quick retrospective.
Wait, can you link it? Or
I'm just about to.
oh, okay, but oh, mama, okay. I don't
Yeah,
wanna accidentally activate the audio or anything just in case. But okay, it's
it is
12,
12 hours,
literally 12 hours.
So it's basically
oh, sorry.
and he's got one on Morrowind that is 7 hours and 53 minutes.
Jesus, look at and the chat. He's done the effort of doing the chapters and everything. Are you fucking shitting me?
No,
This
and
imagine.
he's got one for Skyrim. That's an analysis, a quick retrospective, Act 1, 9 hours.
Oh, okay. You know what I say? I like at least I applaud the effort, right? I think the effort is well worth it. Like, good job on that. I assume it's a long fucking time trying to edit all that stuff and compose it all together. But who will watch 12 hours of Oblivion?
I
Not for
don't
real
know
though.
because like you could just play 12 hours of Oblivion. No
Like,
offense to the guy, I appreciate the effort.
it must be, at least if it catches steam at some degree, that's gonna be a fucking gold mine for the amount of watch time it's gonna generate.
Like ads and stuff too, which I
Not just that, but
mm,
also depending on the audience retention, it can generate like loads of watch time on that. And that
uh,
isn't, and the algorithm is constantly craving for that type of shit. And
keep
then,
in mind too, like videos like these, people don't even like actively watch. They just put these on and go to bed.
oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Maybe listening to while they're going to sleep or something. That makes much more sense. I think
Yeah,
maybe in the sense that they're listening to it like it was some sort of podcast or something. I might assume it might be something like that. Because
yeah,
another
because
genre of
it's
YouTube that is gaining traction these days is the podcast genre. I should probably told you about it in the previous episode, but apparently the main reason why I restarted the JMAA Live Deluxe podcast is to try to catch on the trend of long form content type of podcast content
Oh
because
yeah.
there's apparently a new function that you see on YouTube on the YouTube Dash Studio that lets you create a very specific type of playlist that's called a podcast, and it has like the cover of a podcast like you will see on Spotify. It has like that sort of like functionality of a podcast, and it even is gonna probably show up on the YouTube Music app or something similar to that of Spotify when you look up for podcasts. So maybe there's a bit of like a gold mine there just that I could probably use apparently because I'm kind of desperate for money at this point at some degree, you know.
Well, I mean, you gotta make cash wherever you can, really.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just trying.
I
Yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna say I don't know how well that would work just on the grounds of the way YouTube is, uh, especially with their weirdness and trying to figure out what to say here. Uh, especially with their weirdness when it comes to stuff that isn't consistently uploaded, like either daily or like weekly. Like,
Well,
because they,
I sort of keep like a monthly basis of uploads at least because I give myself breathing room to sort of have the videos edited or whatever. But yeah, like there's like the main point here is like trying to build an audience on YouTube to the point of bringing them to a funnel where you sort of send them to your website and build a newsletter mailing list and sort of try to sell them stuff through there. That's kind of how I kind of make it things work out, I think. And apparently, that's the general advice people can give these days on regards to YouTube. YouTube alone cannot do shit. Apparently, it's all the best. You gotta treat YouTube like it was a part of your business. Apparently, because the long gone is the time of the usual YouTuber who rely on YouTube alone to like sort of try to rely on YouTube alone for basic revenue. But now you got the Mr. Beasts, you got like probably sadly the Andrew Tates and all these people just only having YouTube as a part of their business, and the rest of the business is either situated in a website or a Discord or whatever where they can funnel an audience into generating some sort of additional revenue, like a type of passive income or something. And
uh,
that's how things work out apparently recently. It's sad
well,
to see like the YouTubers of old go away like that, but yeah, I guess it's either adapt or die. When I say,
and when it comes to that, specifically the Andrew Tate thing, that's a little different, just on the grounds of
not to say it's a
he
grift as well.
is. Oh, saying like he's funneling people in to Discord and everything to try and sell them more or less on a scam, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, it's basically a grift.
yeah, yeah, it is very much a grift. Because did you watch the drama between Moist Critical and Sneeko?
Yeah, I think I'm familiar with it. Yeah, like Sneeko threatened McCritical with a gun or something. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah. But in that time, multiple YouTubers came out and made videos on Sneeko, and they revealed he is more or less scamming people. They've got to pay $50 a month for these classes, and Andrew Tate was selling the same classes. I don't know if he still is or not, because last
Yeah,
time I heard, he got locked up uh, due to the human trafficking. They found him based on the pizza box, but I don't know if he got released yet or not.
yeah, it's a bit.
No,
Even though that's a bit of an untrue story for some, the pizza box alone didn't do shit, but it's still a funny story regardless. But I mean, it's more complex
oh,
than
oh
that. That's
no,
what I
like
mean.
like they managed to find his location based on the beatbox.
Yeah, even though didn't they hold an investigation for longer than that?
Like the investigation had, from my understanding, had been ongoing for a bit, but they just needed proof that he was
In
at
Romania, yeah.
yeah, and they found him based on like the Romanian pizza box being
Yeah.
like a local chain, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, but he would sell these like classes, like I've got these classes, I'll teach you how to be a man and
Yeah, be an
be a
alpha male and
sigma
all that
male,
shit.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like no, that's
And
not the
yeah.
grandstand here. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like he will also teach about the things about the Matrix or some shit, as per usual. Because that's like a tier of fantasy, conspiratorial nonsense that's present in Andrew Tate's stuff that differs from the rest of like the YouTube guru shit is all that sort of mystical matrix conspiratorial stuff that is somehow chasing Andrew Tate down for some reason. And like it's still bullshit, that's what I mean, but that's what apparently differs from the rest of YouTube guru shit that teaches you like the basic stoic advice and alpha male advice and all that shit.
Oh yeah, because Sneako's like his stuff was
Yeah, it's basically a copy paste of Andrew Tate.
yeah, like his stuff was based on Andrew Tate, and he was saying like there's like a feminization, and he was actually spreading the great replacement um,
Yeah, a bunch of
conspiracy
anti-Semitic
theory.
theories. Yeah,
Yeah, like it was fucked.
like even for Andrew Tate's standards, it was way more fucked than Andrew Tate. I gotta be honest.
Oh, uh, Andrew Tate's stuff is. I'll say this: his wasn't as fucked as Sneako's, but the impact it's had has been wild. Uh, I've seen like YouTube videos of there's this one of this kid who stands up to his teacher saying like this punishment stuff it's not happening anymore. I am the alpha now. And the
Ooh,
teacher's just looking at him like okay, you're the alpha, but I'm the teacher. Well, this punishment's gonna stop. Well,
it's the kind of cringe, I
yeah,
imagine.
it was, and like it was funny, and like I appreciate the teacher kind of leaning into it so that he didn't embarrass the kid. That shows like good social skills of kids and everything, but still.
Like speaking of another subject I got on the list, isn't Elon like following around on the Andrew Tate bullshit apparently, or am I just
Uh,
imagining things?
he has been for a bit now.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's getting to the point that he has gone down the rabbit hole so far, which he was doing this before he bought Twitter. He's gone down the rabbit hole so far that unless he had these feelings and just didn't say it publicly, but it's possible he didn't initially, fell down the same rabbit hole that you did, with like the right wing shit. If you remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
because like it started out as memes. It was funny enough. It started out as memes and jokes and everything, but then like he started getting like serious, and
I think we all know
then
what or how it really started with that, and it's with the
yeah.
Grimes divorce.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just because he got mad he couldn't have his silver wife from Cyberpunk 2077, and
Reading the Communist Manifesto,
yeah.
I don't know, even backwards. I guess it's what I can call champagne socialist, but still.
Well, he ever since the divorce he went to like a dark place, and you know, like you'd said before, like, when you fell in with that shit, you were kind of in a dark place, and so it's prime opportunity to grab him up and sit there and feed him all of this bullshit. And now now that he's temporarily the CEO, because there's a new CEO selected so far. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah, but he will probably still hold like a vital importance space in the Twitter executive branch, but I don't know, whatever. Yeah, like,
We'll see, because which, if
yeah,
you remember, he initially tried to back out of it because he
he got
realized,
bullied
like,
out of
oh,
his ass. That's what happened. He got
yeah,
bullied.
but
Like,
he was like, oh, go ahead.
yeah, you see Elon just acting like a fucking ass baby, like a lot. I don't know about it much because I got him blocked on Twitter, but Jesus fucking Christ. He, he's actually trying to install functionality on Twitter to remove or ban accounts that are inactive for 30 days. Jesus fucking Christ.
I had heard about that.
He went through it, then apparently. I don't know about it.
Well, I'm about to lose my Safe for Work account then, because that thing has dust on it, but it's no biggie.
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
my only guess is he's trying to do that. Like, the only logical explanation for that, if it wasn't for Elon, would be just killing dead accounts, so that way it can make space on servers. So that way it's not just like
Or
a
like
bunch of abandoned bots.
trying to incentivize activity on Twitter in some way
Oh
or
yeah,
something
which
like that.
that too.
Yeah, because that will make much more sense than just getting rid of inactive accounts for the sake of cleaning up servers. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the case because they're gonna save up money because they're losing so much. But yeah, like Elon. Jesus fucking Christ! I don't know what to say about Elon at this point. It's
It,
uh
he was somebody that I admit for a while there I looked up to, because I figured, like, okay, so he's the really intelligent guy. He's wanting to get us to go places, especially like go back to space again, because I keep
yeah,
saying,
that's that's probably what
like,
I thought as well at some point. I don't know. I don't think it was. I even knew Elon Musk when I was on the far right or something. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense because at some degree we bought into this whole mythology of Elon just basically doing great things that he's gonna send us to space or whatever. But deep
oh
down,
yeah,
he's
it's
like
like,
a con artist at the end of the day. Like he always
oh
has
yeah,
been.
yeah, because he had a thing for a while there where, like, he had. I'm stumbling. I'm nervous. Um, he was selling solar panels, and they were supposed to be like, you pay for like the pre-order, and then you pay so much on them
Yeah.
until it's paid off. It's like you start at almost like, kind of like a payment plan on them, and there were over hundreds of thousands of people that jumped for it because, oh, my house can finally have solar energy. I don't have to worry about, regular energy anymore. Like, I don't have to get screwed by the power company anymore. Nope. Only maybe out of the hundreds of thousands of people that pre-ordered and paid in full, maybe 7,000 people have gotten their solar panels, if that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember the flamethrower he had for a while. I think that one is that Griff is still going, isn't it? Like, you can still buy it.
I mean, not sure, but Jesus, why will you buy a fucking flamethrower?
My guess is just because you can. Um,
It's
they're
silly.
$500 each, and
Yeah. And like the Tesla cars and the PayPal thing, and it all sounds like he lies about like his own narrative about around these things. It's very evident also, well, like from like the PlayStation startup video that I did, when Elon is creating this false narrative around him and this false mythology to the point of having a lot of simps believing it, right? But like he's always the grift has always been there apparently, considering he's being the one who inherited a great fortune from like his father from apartheid South African emerald mine shit. But yeah, like he's a big giant piece of shit. No, no,
He
no,
he is.
no contest.
Like it's he wants to bank on the fact that he both is pretty smart. I ain't gonna lie, he's smart because he had a hand in PayPal, SpaceX, and a few others. But at the
Yeah,
same time, though, he doesn't care about screwing people over. He doesn't care about actually achieving what he wants because, in the end, even if those businesses fail, he's still going to be rich because you know how he spouts about, like, oh, I'm a self made man. I'm self made. I'm self made. No, he came from old fucking money. Um, I'm
yeah.
trying to remember, like, his father, I think, owned diamond mines in South Africa.
Apartheid South Africa. Yeah,
Yeah, just want to make sure that I'm telling the truth there, so that way I'm not, like,
I think it was
bullshitting and
emeralds,
lying.
right?
It was some kind of, yeah, emerald mines.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how the cookie crumbles. Yeah,
yeah, it's like his dad owned emerald mines and shit. So he comes from old money, technically.
yeah,
And if it comes down to it that, he, like I said, Twitter fails or SpaceX fails or anything, he's still set for life to the point that he could live comfortably for the rest of his days.
and yeah, that's the sad
So,
reality of it. It kind of makes sense, even. Like, I don't know what's gonna take for Elon to go completely bankrupt, personally, but it's gonna take a long while before that happens. I gotta bet.
it's going to be, unless something major happens, like something big happens.
Yeah,
Um, like a major kind of lawsuit or something, which I wouldn't be surprised with. Like you had mentioned, the Tesla cars. Those have been like getting recalled because the batteries have been bursting and catching fire and shit.
and China, I think, is right.
U.S. too. It's been
Yeah,
happening in the
yeah,
U.S.
yeah. Like big time lawsuit, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that should make a lot of sense, and I will not be surprised if Elon will end up fucking ass blasted from all the lawsuits or whatever, because I think it's a long time coming at this point. I don't know about it. Like billionaires of the times come and go in like droves, and there's already a graveyard for those who already passed to um bankruptcy already or something similar.
What?
It's yeah. Um
No, no, no.
Wait.
Looking on like major news websites here. I just typed in like Tesla lawsuit, and Elon Musk documents subpoenaed in Jeffrey Epstein lawsuit by U.S. Virgin Islands. Oh fuck!
Oh, you seen the photo with Ghislaine Maxwell, isn't it?
I don't see a photo yet. I'm just reading the thing, but like, oh, that's
Like Elon Musk had a photo with Ghislaine Maxwell next to him.
isn't she like his wasn't she Epstein's mistress?
Yeah, she was Epstein's mistress or something. Yeah,
Oh,
she's related at
hmm.
least to Epstein as well. So yeah,
It's gonna get real interesting.
shit's gonna come out of that. I know that. And speaking of fucked up shit, Hasbro I know you've probably seen this one. Hasbro is sending Pinkertons against
Oh
YouTubers.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the whole gist
I
is that is because apparently a YouTuber received like a set of cards of Magic the Gathering that they were not supposed to sell yet at that time. So
Oh
instead of
God,
recalling
yes.
that, they sent the fucking Pinkertons to their house.
Me and some friends have discussed this one. Um, it's weirdly dystopian that they'll send, more or less hired thugs to harass a dude over like playing cards, essentially. Like they're like collectible cards. Because yes, they were released a month early, technically by him,
Yeah.
but from the story I remember reading, he bought them legally from someone who wasn't supposed to give away early cards. Like, it wasn't on the guy that the Pinkertons went to. They didn't follow the chain up to find the actual leaker. Um, and it makes no sense that they had to harass and intimidate him to the point they made his wife cry. The dude said his
Just
wife
just
cried
because
out
they
of
got a
fear.
clerk at Hasbro has sent the wrong box from a storage or something. Jesus Christ. And considering like
Yeah.
the Pinkertons are also illegal in the United States since like the 19th century.
They're technically legal, but they're all they can do is private investigate. From my understanding, they're not allowed to intimidate. They're not allowed to get physical.
Like they
They're
were the bad guys from Red Dead Redemption 2, throwing
yeah,
dynamite out of the cliffs and fucking getting in gunfights and shit.
yeah, like they were breaking up unions and physically attacking unions so that
Yeah.
people could quote unquote go back to work, and it's twisted. And I'm surprised that they're still like around nowadays because a lot of companies are getting very supportive of well, not supportive, but they're allowing people to kind of band together and unionize. And I the fact that these people are still in business makes no sense. The only way I can see them being in business still is the private investigation portion of trying to help find people that may be missing or trying to recover stolen assets. But in this case, this isn't a stolen asset. This is somebody that just fucked up. But
Yeah.
like, you don't have to sit there and force yourself into someone's house and then, like I said before, make their fucking wife cry over some goddamn cards.
It's ridiculous. It's
I
fucking
mean,
ridiculous.
and as I have found out dealing with people and, people dealing with me and everything, you don't get your way by being violent and aggressive. Being violent and aggressive builds immediate resentment. It builds distrust. It builds anger. If you want to get what you want, you be nice. All they had to do, knock on his door. Hello, so and so. We're doing an investigation, and we'd seen on your YouTube channel that you had gotten some ill-gotten cards. Um, those cards were not supposed to be sent to you. Um, we're here to take them. You're not in any kind of trouble, but we're here to take them because they're not supposed to be released yet, and you will be compensated. That's all they had to do. Because the dude he seemed to be the type that if somebody approached him politely in that situation, they'd provide proof of who they are, he would have followed along, he would have complied, and, that would have been that. Doesn't take Inspector fucking Columbo to know that. But apparently, these dudes had to sit there and go around swinging their big dicks and be, violent and aggressive. And they even threatened that, like, dude, you're going to be arrested for this. You're going to go to jail.
Yeah,
And it's like
like
they don't
they
actually have that
even following,
authority.
yeah, even following orders of Hasbro, even at some degree, isn't it?
It's on Hasbro for somehow the cards getting out. I don't know if somebody just stole a box or two. That does happen.
Yeah,
But still, even then, you don't send Pinkertons. It's like, if I were running the company, I would have just taken it as free marketing. Because
yeah.
that gets people hyped and excited for, hey, these cards are going to be coming out. Check them out. And, be looking for them in stores.
Yeah, it's kind of
You
similar
know.
to what happens to Nintendo games and everything with the terms of emulation and ROMs or whatever. It's kind of similar to that vein. If I were Nintendo and a lot of people are emulating my Nintendo games, I will take it as free advertising of those games in some degree. Like, it makes no sense to be so blatantly aggressive against piracy, because it's demonstrated that piracy helps the industry more than it does harm to it, because it's a way to make a product more accessible to more people in some way or another, even though you might get a virus or something with games or whatever, but still.
Well, the virus thing, that I can say for certain is that's just like bad pirates trying to sit there and get
Yeah,
access to your shit. Which
yeah,
it's
yeah,
viruses aren't like how they used to be. I'm pretty sure you remember growing up,
yeah.
because
I
we're
don't
close
remember.
to the same
I
age.
was
Oh,
growing up
good.
with piracy a lot, and like I don't remember getting viruses for that sort of shit. I gotta be honest. Like at some
Oh,
degree, they start popping up, but not in a way
oh,
that.
I don't mean like
Yeah,
viruses from piracy or anything in general. I'm just saying like viruses as a whole.
yeah,
The big thing used to be, the fear of Trojan viruses.
yeah.
Then it came to rootkits, in which I actually personally have experience with rootkits. This was back, God, 2011, 2012. I
Mm-hmm.
had my first laptop,
Yeah,
um, and I would download games, I would pirate games because being a kid in school, don't got a lot of money,
mm-hmm.
and I um I did the stupid thing. I didn't have that good a virus protection because I had like um not a vast, but it's the AVG, um and it is just the most dog shit virus protection you will ever see, as I had found out later in life. And
Wait,
uh,
ABG.
yeah, it's there's like a virus protection called AVG that is just the worst because it will bog down your computer
Huh.
like
I
bad.
do have ABG though, and it's not as actually bogging down my memory that much apparently.
It did on my laptop, but things may have changed since then. Granted, I use Windows Defender now
Yeah.
because like it's like viruses aren't like a major thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I'll get to that. Um, but I was just sitting there watching YouTube one day, like switching back and forth between YouTube and Second Life, and then out of nowhere, I start hearing this ad for like Activia, and so I go to the YouTube page and like, wait, so my video, like YouTube is playing, it was some video, but like there was no ad on it whatsoever. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. And so the ad ends, and then I'm just sitting there for a couple more minutes thinking like, okay, so maybe that was just like a random window or something. Then another one plays for some kind of stomach medicine. and then I'm hearing like ads like that I would hear on TV. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? I don't have any pages open. So I shut down my computer, turn it back on, and I'm thinking like, okay, maybe it was just some page I didn't see, and I panicked because it was weird, and they start playing again without me having any programs open. Like, oh, okay, I got a virus,
Mm-hmm.
and the day ended with me losing everything on my hard drive because I don't know what was infected, what wasn't. I lost so much music and everything.
Yeah,
But
that fucking blows.
thankfully, I was able to kind of save what I could. Um, but when it comes to like the viruses and stuff, that's not so much a thing anymore because they're not trying to exactly get your information like that anymore. Because with the rise of cryptocurrency, they don't need your information too much anymore unless they want to steal what cryptocurrency you have. Otherwise, they'll install miners on your computer so that way you can mine for them without them having to use a system.
Yeah, I think when I pirated some
Yeah.
program recently, I also got a crypto miner that I erased easily on with my AVG antivirus. I mean, it's it was a bit weird. I just needed to like do a deep scan with that antivirus, but yeah, I got rid of the crypto miner eventually. But there's like a recent trend of YouTube channels getting hacked with viruses
Oh
for
God,
like
yeah.
the Tesla kind of bot hack kind of thing.
Oh yeah, because like people will get hacked and then it'll be like these like Indian dudes or something posting these robot videos, like robot voice videos about this cryptocurrency, this new coin, and come sign up for this new coin. And
Nowadays is Tesla though. Like Tesla live streams to directing to some sort of cryptocurrency scam or whatever.
now I haven't seen the Tesla stuff, but I'm not surprised because Linus Tech Tips, his YouTube channel got hacked for a
Yeah, at
little
least he
bit,
got
didn't
that
it?
sorted out because it's a really accessible YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, but it's the fact that like he even got nailed. So just imagine the scale of these like smaller channels getting hit with this bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, oh, kind
And
of scary.
it is because anyone could fall for this shit. Um, it was like the
It's like
repeat
yeah,
comments, if you remember,
yeah.
like there would be like two or three repeat comments of the same thing, and they'd include a link and pretend to be like a major channel. They'd make the channel look like a big YouTuber, but if you actually clicked on it, it would be like 0 or 1 or 2 subscribers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they would try to get you to follow a link like, join my thing or join, come check this out.
I also
And
seeing like a lot
yeah,
of
like,
fake Mr. Beast ads on YouTube where they're
yeah,
trying to scam you for like money or something, like free money thing, right? Just for being you or something. But I think it might be a malware scam or something, I might assume.
yeah, because where Mr. Beast, like, if he's gonna give you free money, he's gonna include you in a video so that way he can make some money off of giving you free money.
Yeah.
Uh, there's scams and bots and everything are still kind of bad on YouTube. It's not as bad as it used to be, but they've just shifted to the new, the new way of getting people to click
Yeah, it's
because
like a 40 chess tier kind of social engineering kind of thing where
very much
um
so.
I seen someone get hacked on YouTube because they sent like a fake copyright strike from Adobe, not like from YouTube, but from Adobe or something. And it was like it had like a zip file attached to it or something. It's they're playing now on like a very advanced level of social engineering stuff apparently,
Oh yeah,
And
it's like
a lot of these
they'll do
emails
that.
can sort of filter filter themselves into your regular inbox instead of the spam inbox, and they know the workarounds of this sort of stuff. Apparently,
Another thing they'll do too is the texting, like the scams, like with texting and stuff.
oh, I get a
Has
yeah, yeah, I get a
like
bunch of
it
phone
is.
spam too. Yeah, and a lot of the phone calls I tend to receive lately, it's either the phone line offers, like they try to offer you a better phone line or whatever, or either like the forex kind of scam trading thing. I think it was like strange numbers from foreign numbers that apparently all tied back to the forex trading shit or something.
And at least you're getting some interesting ones because the ones I'm getting are like they're obviously fake.
Yeah,
Because it's like a bunch of random numbers, a string of random numbers, a bunch of random letters at so and so.com, like an email address. Like I got texted an email and they're sitting there saying, Your your Netflix account has been put on hold, until you pay so and so amount of money. Click this link to pay. And I'm like, I don't have a Netflix account. I
yeah.
don't
Maybe I
watch.
got something similar to that, but with bank accounts from banks
Um,
I'm not even in. You know?
Yeah, and like I got one that like actually fooled me for a second. It was like a good hot second. I was sitting there like, oh fuck, okay, what's going on? And I actually checked my real email because it was like they made it look like it was from fucking PayPal, and like where I actively use like PayPal and stuff because we're like I've got stuff on time through PayPal, and
Yeah.
they're it said like your PayPal account has been locked until so and so due to a investigation, and it was the same string of numbers and letters at so and so.com. So like I'm checking like okay, check my email, nothing from PayPal. Check spam folder, nothing from PayPal. Trash, nothing from PayPal. I go to my PayPal account, nothing is locked. Everything's like normal.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we come a long way since all those Nigerian scam emails that try to fool stupid people into getting the bait, I think. And yeah, there's like a thing in Nigerian scam emails where they intentionally write really bad grammar and everything just so the most gullible people fall for that type of shit because they know
oh
that
yeah,
the type of audience they're looking for is not really smart people who know
there,
it's a
there,
Nigerian scam because everybody knows the Nigerian scam. But just the gullible enough people to not know what it is about.
yeah, it's like they're looking for. I wouldn't say specifically gullible people. A lot of them are looking for older, uneducated people. They're looking for people that
Yeah, like your grandma or
don't.
something. Usual shit.
Yeah, like that way they could sit there and they could swing in and scam without a problem, and it's fucked really because the time and effort they put into these scams, they could actually try to work and have a job because it's from what Trilogy Media, a YouTube channel I watch that talks about these scams and everything, has shown. Uh, these scammers scamming people, it's like a literal 9 to 5 job
Mm-hmm.
scamming people because they don't stick to just one specific target. They stick to 10 to 20 different people, if not more, messaging them daily or weekly to try to sit there and get them to send money. Um,
Yeah, it even makes sense because they even got their own offices and everything in somewhere.
oh, yeah. Like there's some that their offices are actually based in the U.S. Trilogy Media showed that. The Amazon scammers that
Yeah, I
will
think it
sit
was
there and say,
the
that,
Amazon coin thing. I think it was.
Oh no, it's not. It's not the coin. It's like the Amazon Prime like customer service thing.
Uh huh.
Uh, so they'll sit there and they'll get you to sign up for their service, like because they're managing to socially engineer uh the Google searches, like the algorithms,
Mm-hmm.
so that their stuff appears over top of the real Amazon customer support.
Yeah, I
And
think that's a similar case to like OBS and all this software that a lot of people use. They pay for ads just so they can appear in the top results of a search on Google.
yep, and so people will click that thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get help with my Amazon thing. Cause say for example, I got a Fire Stick, I don't know how to set it up, and they'll try to get people, they'll help them set it up, but then it's like, well, you pay for a service, we're gonna charge you like this fee, and it's gonna be like $900, or like they'll get them started on like some subscription plan, like IT subscription, which isn't a real thing when it comes, especially when it comes to Amazon, because customer support for Amazon products is absolutely free because you're buying their product,
Yeah.
and they'll get them started on that, and they'll just be leeching money from them. And these scams are actually in combination with another scam. Um, have you seen the tech support scams where they'll let them on, like people will let them on their computers, and
Yeah, I think I'm
they'll
familiar with
quote
those.
unquote,
Yeah.
yeah, like they'll quote unquote fix a problem on their computer, and then when it comes time to pay them for the service, they'll have them go to a certain bank and transfer money to that bank, but they edit the HTML of the page so that it looks like, instead of giving them, say for example, $400,
Yeah.
you give them $400,000,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, and so they're like, "Oh, ma'am, like you overpaid, ma'am. We can't do this. I can't accept this money. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get fired." And so they'll sit there and say, "Okay, we're gonna send you this money back. We're gonna send you your money back, but you've got to send some of it to another place too." And this is the money that they've gotten from other people. Sometimes it's the same scam. Sometimes it's, like I said, the Amazon support scam where you pay like a certain fee.
Yeah,
And, you get
yeah.
started on like a bullshit subscription for IT. And they have these innocent people receive this money and then split it up for quote unquote themselves, and then send off the rest to someone else. And it's someone else's money. And what these people are called is mules. They're called money mules.
Meals
And
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
because they're packing and sending it off elsewhere. It's like the equivalent of drug mules,
Yeah, yeah,
but at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time,
Yeah.
but it's like it's for money, and these people don't realize that they're doing something illegal because they think they're just getting their money back from the money that they spent, but they didn't actually even send any real money to begin with. Sometimes. Or if they're not gonna do the mule thing, they'll force them, and they'll do it like aggressively too, and I mean very aggressively. They'll force
Yeah.
them to pay it back in Steam cards or Google Play cards.
Yeah.
There's a couple others they have them use, but like Steam cards are the recent thing because we've actually had to block sales at my store because they're getting like they're trying to get over $200 in Steam cards, and it's gotten to the point that we can only do like 2 Steam cards regardless of the amounts per person.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like the register will lock it out
Yeah.
because these scams are getting so prevalent with the Steam cards, because they're untraceable, and once that money is spent, it's gone. Like, it is just straight up just gone. There is no getting it back.
Yeah, like it's pretty evident that they're making like a 9 to 5 type of business out of the scamming people.
Oh yeah, because like you said before, they have offices and everything, and especially when it comes to the scammers that are doing the IT scams and everything, they literally will sit there in groups and do this. Because I've seen some videos where they get hacked and you actually get to see like their webcam and stuff. Like it gets fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, I've seen
Like
those videos too. I think, yeah,
it's like to the point that it's like an office building of scams.
yeah,
You wouldn't
yeah,
figure like it would be like that advanced, but no, that's how
yeah.
else are they gonna make their money? Aside from actually like working.
Which it might be technically illegal if it wasn't for the fact that I live in states where or countries where it's not so illegal, or it's either in a gray area kind of thing. I think.
It's I know for a fact the ones that are in India, it's illegal, but because the police is so corrupt there
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
like they if they get bribed, they'll like turn the other cheek, and
Mm-hmm. Like a
you know
literal slap in the wrist.
yeah, because like at that point, like since so much money is involved, they get a part of it.
And
It's
oh,
it's almost
you
like
cheeky, yeah, you cheeky,
it's
just
almost
pay
like
me,
police here in the
yeah.
U.S.
Yeah, and the U.S. might be way worse apparently for that type of shit.
Oh well, if you remember a couple months ago, that dude that got killed from being beat to death by like 5 different police officers.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I'm not sure if
invest.
I remember it.
You don't remember like it was actually filmed. Those officers beat that dude to death.
Oh yeah, like he was black and like yeah, it's like kind of similar to George Floyd or something, right?
It was very similar to George Floyd, but all the officers were black too.
Yeah.
The thing about that is, as evidence has kind of come out, he wasn't supposed to die. That was supposed to be just intimidation.
Oh yeah.
Because the group the police officers were in, it was kind of like the '90s. I can't remember the name. It was like a SWAT team that was like anti-gang in the '90s. That they're the ones that, and I can't remember his name too. I guess because it's on the spot. But it led to the LA riots.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the police group that did it. Yeah,
Mm.
because they beat the shit out of Rodney King. Um, and like they were supposed to be kind of like a SWAT team that were was anti-gang, and they ended up getting filmed beating the shit out of Rodney King, and that's what led to the LA riots. These people like that beat the shit out of that one dude recently. They were in like a similar group called Scorpion, I believe, and they were supposed to be like anti-gang, and because they got filmed, because everybody films police interactions nowadays because honestly, you fucking have to. The way police are. Um,
Yeah.
it's what led to, and I'm sorry, I'm having a weird day today.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. We can move on to something else, which
Mm.
I gotta remind myself to do a little bit of ad time. There's a new print store at JMAA.tv. It has saucy art for the most part, but yeah, you just gotta check it out at JMAA.tv's last store. Yeah, have you seen it yet?
I did, and I kind of poked my head around there and looked around.
Yeah, it's got very saucy prints. I got especially like canvas prints, but there's also like stickers and there's also like all sorts of stuff. I think there's even a posters and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of cool. I kind of realized I could easily do that, and with Printify, I think it was right, and easily with not safe for work art and everything, right? But it kind of works out. Yeah, I didn't sell anything yet, but yeah, it might be convenient. JMAA.tv/store. Check it out. Yeah, I was gonna say there's another one out of 10 that's what's we suggested a topic for looking for what's for beginners and favorite what's, right? Like,
Hmm.
what do you think about that?
Um, when it comes to WODs for beginners, it depends on what type of WOD a player would like. Though I'm not going to lie, my first WODs, aside from how I initially played Doom, was actually Brutal Doom. A friend had introduced it to me because,
Burger Doom or what?
yeah, Brutal Doom.
Brutal Doom. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
um, it's my
Guilty
I had
pleasure.
started playing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you meant guilty pleasure, right?
Yeah, it is nowadays. It was my first, but like every now and then I'll boot it up and play it if I'm bored. But it was my first time I'd actually played Doom with a mod on PC. Because all the other times I'd played it was the shareware edition, like of Doom 95.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
I had actually gotten the Xbox versions of Doom 3. It wasn't BFG edition. Resurrection of Evil.
Yeah.
Um, Specifically, just because it had Doom 1 and 2 and master levels on it. Because I admit, back when I was a kid, I was very much not computer literate. So I had no idea, I could have played this for free without having to go through all of this rigmarole. Because, I could have gotten involved in like the Doom WADs and, the source ports for free, mind you.
Yeah. And like I
And
remember there was a time where Doom was abandonware before it got sold on platforms like Steam or whatever. So I lived those times too, and I basically got games like Doom for free, or Doom 2 rather, and the Plutonic Experiment and TNT and all that sort of stuff. And it was, yeah, the part in the middle of limbo where somewhat Doom was available there for free at some degree until it released on Steam apparently, which might coincide with the acquisition by Bethesda at some degree, I believe.
uh, no, that it was on Steam a little bit before then, but
Huh.
it was back when like Doom was just like it was floating. Because the last time we'd seen anything about Doom at that point was the weird Call of Duty esque version of Doom 4.
Oh, yeah.
The,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I hope you remember that,
Yeah, yeah,
where like
yeah. It was way before the Doom 2016 thing. It's gonna be yet another Call of Duty type of game, and it had like, yeah, I see where you're going.
like it was
Weird.
it was weird looking, like very weird looking.
Yeah,
Because it was still first person, but like everyone looked like they were either Gears of War characters or Call of Duty characters, and it all had like the same vibe that
yeah, the same
like
brownish.
black
Yeah, the same
like
brownish looking to it too.
like all I could all I can think about is because the way everyone was dressed and looked. Black Ops 1 on 360 like had the same look to it. And
Yeah,
like this trailer and stuff came out before Black Ops, but like it was that same vibe, like that same like kind of nasty brown. look.
Yeah. I
It's like
mean,
what Duke Nukem Forever eventually kind of released as, and like don't get me wrong, I love Duke Nukem Forever. It's one of my favorite Duke games aside from Duke 3D, but it's not the prettiest. It's not the most colorful.
yeah, it
And
kind
it's
of look,
kind of
yeah.
nasty looking.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you know Call of Duty clone, and you know how the development hell went for Duke Nukem Forever and shit.
Oh,
Like it went,
oh yeah.
Elon
After
went through the time period where it was gonna be like some sort of immersive sim kind of thing, and it passed through multiple engines. It passed through the Quake engine, all the versions of the Unreal Engine until its final release. So oh god, like does you remember when it was leaked the 2001 build of the Duke Nukem Forever thing,
oh
right?
oh yeah, and I've yet to sit down and play it. I've got it on my hard drive though, so I need to do that at some point. Just try to get away from my fucking VR headset.
That just got lost in time at some degree because they wanted to ape Call of Duty so badly at some
Oh
point
yeah,
in
it's
2011.
it's like don't get me wrong, like Duke's always been about parroting current games and stuff, but at that point, like that's just
It's just overkill.
yeah, like because they were parroting Halo and Call of Duty due to like the 2 weapon limit, and they even went so far as to showing Master Chief's helmet, and it's like Chief or
It's all
Duke, I
dated
got
jokes and everything.
yeah, and it's like Duke, I got your power armor here. Power armors, pussies.
And like an old 4chan joke that it really spells this, and that question mark profit that type of shit. And then like
Yeah, very much
grabbing
so, and
you grab turds out of the toilet for some reason. No.
I'll say this. I thought that was funny. I'll admit.
Yeah, at
Like
first I
like
thought it
like
was
get
kind of
get as mad as
funny.
you want to, Joan, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I also thought like that. It was basically like, what am I, a chimpanzee? Like
No,
in Duke Nukem
no.
voice. Oh god, no. That traumatic shit. Oh
This is gross. I gotta get rid of this.
no, yeah. The foreshadowing there. The fucking
Oh, oh,
foreshadowing.
oh yeah, because of what 3D realm, not 3D realms.
Maximilian Moss.
Oh, I was talking about like the company that's like owns Duke and everything, what
Oh
they would
yeah,
turn into.
Gearbox. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like Gearbox, like because all they do now is like shit out Borderlands sequels or side projects, and it's like
Yeah, I
I want.
remember Battleborn. Just
Oh
remember
yeah,
Battleborn.
yeah, because I remember the ads and like it died like as soon as it came out.
Oh, speaking of that games, guess what game also died recently?
Oh yeah. Before we get back to the wads, Overwatch has more or less died. Overwatch 2. Because
Yeah,
I just found out about this yesterday, and I texted Joan about it yesterday.
yeah,
Overwatch 2 is no longer having the player versus event stuff, like the single player stuff, anymore. They're cutting it completely. So it's literally just Overwatch 1 with a 2 slapped onto it and overpriced skins.
yeah, and like, guess what other game also died?
What game is this?
Blood Hunt. After one
Oh,
year,
oh,
they
yeah.
stopped development, and I called it this time. I called it. I did like a video originally last year, which was about Blood Hunt, about how it was going to become a dead game because many reasons, really, especially bad optimization, bad business, sort of the battle pass shit, it's bare bones content and everything. And like 1 year later, gone. No more development on it. It's now they're dead basically a game with literally nearly no players that everybody seemed to have forgotten, and now it's in development according to the developers. And I even did a short about it, and yeah, I called it.
Which I'm not surprised.
These live
Because
service games, girl, like Jesus, what when do people will start realizing that not everything has to be like a live service game?
I I don't know if I'm being honest, because I don't like the idea of live service games, nor do I like the idea of every single game that is coming out being online only. Um,
Yeah,
that's what pushed me away from Titanfall 1, because like the game is just multiplayer. That's why I skipped it and went straight to Titanfall 2. Um, Another game that's like online only. Black Ops 4. I skipped Black Ops 4 because I liked Black Ops
eh,
3's campaign, and
I
which
don't
ain't
know.
gonna lie,
Yeah,
I bought it just because it's got the guy from Law and Order SVU, and I forget his name, but I really like him. He's my favorite, one of my favorite characters in Law and Order SVU. But because where I'm focusing on him solving the cases more than I am like the actual social interactions, forget his name, but he did a really good job in uh, Black Ops 3 as being the villain character, because you eventually start to understand and side with him a little bit, because his mind has been corrupted, if I remember correctly, by this virus that's in the system, where
yeah.
everyone is cyborgs in or at least like the main character and a few others are cyborgs in Black Ops 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, Black Ops 4, like I've stayed away from it because it's online only. That's why I was initially hesitant to play Evil Dead the game, because it's that online asymmetrical, you know, fighting, or not fighting game, but like asymmetrical like action game, and that's partly why I've been even hesitant to get into Dead by Daylight, because I love the characters, I love the artwork, everything seems to be really right, proper, spooky. But
Yeah, it's I felt also
that,
like it was a proper Halloween game, but it eventually got riddled with like I don't know, what's the name, tryhards and people competing, and
yeah,
what the fuck is the point of that? It's supposed to be like a scary game to have scary moments, not a competitive esports game, you know?
yeah, which that's like stuff like that, like the asymmetrical portion of it as well. It's like why I'm staying away from it. I'd rather have like a single player horror experience, because if you're with a group of people playing a horror game, you're not scared. If you're by yourself completely dead at night at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna be scared.
Yeah.
Um,
And also take in mind people mic spamming you and everything, and all that shit.
oh yeah, and that's why I play like any online game. I have the mics off, regardless how mad people get. Um, I'm not gonna sit there and I'm not gonna listen to you scream and spam. Like all the stupid shit, or like screaming memes, or you know, and they're like fuck your mom and everything. Like if I'm gonna listen to that, I'm gonna play Modern Warfare 2, because that's where that was fun, was sitting there and
Yeah, the Xbox
scream,
Live shit.
yeah, like sitting there and screaming curse words at somebody, and it's like, hey, I fucked your mom, and
Oh yeah,
fuck
something
you,
random.
and
Yeah, make me a sandwich. That sort of
oh
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, because that era of tried to be as offensive as possible to your opponent pre-game, so that way they get upset and they get psyched out.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
usually that was done like pre-match before Seek and Destroy, and Seek and Destroy you only get one life. But like nowadays, it's like you can't do that. Call of Duty will even like block your voice chat if you're like that.
yeah,
Now, you say one curse word or something like that, and then all of a sudden, like, nope, nope, we're not doing this.
no,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I get that. At least that's how GameStar initially built his career, like the
uh,
Halo
yeah,
trash talking thing.
yeah, he would.
Yeah,
Um, but I do have a carryover to what we were talking about previously with the WODs and everything.
yeah, yeah,
Since I was talking about like the scary games, there are actually like if you're wanting to be involved in like the scary WODs and everything, Unloved is a really good start. I ain't gonna lie, it's difficult. Sometimes the maps are straight up just slaughter maps,
yeah,
but it's still worth an experience. There's a lot of Silent Hill 2 music in it that really fits the mood. A lot of custom monsters that are in it. Um, that honestly, I wish were in the base game, but sadly, they're not. Um,
yeah.
Unloved. I'm trying to remember one. I think it's called Static. It's
St-
by the same dude who
yeah.
made Unloved,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like Radio Static or Interference or something. Uh,
Yeah. So I think I got one of my favorite Watts, and it's called Deus Bolt 2. Maybe you're familiar with it. It's got this massive level of cathedral, even with all sorts of portraits of like villains and evil people or like dictators or whatever. And it's like greatly built to detail with all sorts of arches and everything. It's amazing to look at. It actually feels like the 16th chapel has been built into Doom or something. In Deus Vault 2. Maybe you heard of it.
I I feel like I have, but I could be wrong. Uh,
That's like the level I remember the most, right? Like the unholy cathedral thing. And then there was like
mm,
a minus 30th level in there too.
trying to think. So what's the name of the mod again?
Deus Vault 2. I don't know. Maybe you heard about it at some point or whatever. It's
Maybe
like
um I guess maybe I'm not hearing clearly.
Deus Vault 2.
That one I haven't played.
Yeah, it's like a vanilla type Doom WAD, or like at least Boom compatible, right? And it's got levels built in great detail and everything, with the unholy cathedral, especially with all these sort of portraits. And maybe I can link it to you too. Hold on, there's like those. I can look it up too, because the amount of detail built in there is just Jesus Christ. It's like they actually built um the entire 16th chapel into Doom or something. It's like it's map 21, the unholy cathedral. I'm gonna link it to you basically, so you know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say
This,
I'm looking into it now, and
I mean, we're talking about a level that's fucking huge. Huge in scope, huge in detail, like immense. Like it actually feels like a massive cathedral. I'm seeing it, right?
oh yeah, I am.
You see, it's pretty fucking huge.
I'm skipping ahead just to see. It's like, oh god, yeah, that is massive.
Yeah, it's built
Especially
with
40.
It's
3
supposed to be,
minutes just for a single level.
yeah, it's basically supposed to be boom compatible or something, I think. But it's immense in scope, and I actually fucking mean it when I say it. Like, you see it in the details and everything. It's magnificent. It's a work of art. And I really miss that sort of like stuff in Doom, especially outside of the usual Jesus Doom Major Arlene shit, which I mean is so easy to make, but still, this, however, takes immense effort because of the engine limitations, especially, and I just kind of love it at this point, you know?
Oh yeah. Um,
Yeah,
I found out the name of that mod, by the way. The one I couldn't think the name of. Dead Air.
yeah,
It's spelled like dead dot air.
yeah. What is it
It's
about?
um, it doesn't really have much of a story as far as I can tell. Like there's no text to it. At least the one that I played, which it could have been an earlier version.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you're trapped in this strange world where there's these bird-faced creatures that are like they replace the imps,
Yeah,
and they're like super freaky looking because like they don't even have like beaks. Like the beak is fleshy and everything. The way he drew it, like oh my god, it's fucking freaky.
it's kind of like the
Like
thing from Beetlejuice, I think.
yes, very much so. Yes. And he modified like the pinky demons and everything. Like it is worth a play.
Yeah,
Another one that's really good. City of the Damned Apocalypse. I don't know if you've played that one yet or not.
yeah. I think I played that one before. It was by Tormentor 667, I think.
I think so. Let me check and
One of
see.
the earlier maps by Tormentor 667, I think, which feature like uh
Yep,
like a final cyber demon boss coloring green or something.
yep. Which Apocalypse? I think they replaced the final boss with what's his name from Blood?
Chernobog.
Yeah, Chernobog. And the atmosphere in Apocalypse is so much better than the first City of the Damned because it's very slow. Everything in it is just absolutely very deliberate. And there's moments where you have to go into a shelter due to like a growing darkness that will kill you if you don't get into that shelter.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's a bit like Silent Hill to some degree.
It's very like there's a lot of Silent Hill influence, blood influence.
Yeah,
It's like it takes place in the 1920s. Is like the kind of vibe that I get from it. Um, God,
yeah, yeah.
another one I liked. They're supposed to be doing a third one. Now I will go ahead and give a heads up for the listeners. If you have colorophobia, it's do not play this one. I used to be a sufferer from it, but I actually managed to get over it. Um, it's called Happy Time Circus 2. The first one, I'll be honest,
Oh
the
yeah,
first
the
one's
one with
bad.
Pennywise and everything, right?
Yep. But the second one, it's a whole big map, kind of like the Deuce Vault Unholy Cathedral,
Yeah,
that you unlock sections as you go, and it's weird describing a single map as being Metroidvania. But instead of you acquiring like not level ups, but like upgrades, you're acquiring keys and unlocking areas. And there are these balloon enemies that are in the game that are just absolutely um, horrifying, if I'm being straight up honest, because they start out as balloons, and then as they get closer to you, skull faces develop, and they bite you. Fucking balloon biting. You wouldn't figure that would be scary, but it actually pretty much is.
Yeah, I think it exploits a bit the kind of like trope a little bit.
Yeah, it's like when you shoot it and kill it, like it pops and like there's blood and everything.
Yeah, like in it.
There's very much so, which I think that was the purpose. Um,
And there's
so
even Pennywise, I think, too. Yeah. I
yeah, like
think
he's the main boss if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think Grezzo Due like ripped off the level from like this particular wad at some point. Like the circus level is directly from that wad, I
I
think.
think so. That or it's at least either Grezzo 2 took from it or it took from Grezzo 2. I'll have to look
Oh.
at the dates and find out.
Yeah, it's most likely
There's
that Grezzo 2 took it from there.
I wouldn't be surprised because the dude who does Grezzo 2, he just swiped from everything, which I am honestly not even upset about because the game is enjoyable. The mod is enjoyable for what it is. It's fucked, and I love it for it being fucked.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's the whole point of it, basically. There's gonna be like a sequel too to Grezzo 2.
the demo thing's already out.
Yeah, I believe it is at this degree. I'm not sure.
I was just saying, like the demo's already out for Grezzo Do 2. Um, it's just that I can play it, but I'm not enjoying it as much
Yeah.
because, well, I'll be honest, I don't understand a single fucking thing going on because I don't speak Spanish or Italian.
It's Italian, yeah. If it was
Yeah,
Spanish, I will understand it, but it's basically Italian.
I say Spanish because I've heard back and forth that sometimes, like there's a closeness that you can somewhat understand it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhat, but not so much. I mean,
it's
maybe.
which even when it comes to like the English port of it, for Grezzo 2, I still don't understand on the grounds of the Italian celebrities. I don't know who some of these people he's making fun of are.
Yeah, it's good to doing the same kind of thing with Italian celebrities at some degree.
Yeah, because that was the whole purpose of it, to be as offensive and to talk shit about, um,
Yeah,
Italian celebrities. The only one I did know was Padre Pio. But that's just because I have a somewhat interest in like religion and religious topics, and um, to talk about that just for a second, uh, what he was talking about in that video, or not video, that mod, uh, turns out Padre Pio. So how he has the stigmata in his hands, right?
yeah, I think so.
Or at least that's what he was known for, was having and experiencing stigmata. Um,
I wasn't aware of that
he
though.
Yep, that's what he was known for, like in the religious communities, because he was like, it was quote unquote recorded
Yeah.
that he had experienced stigmata.
Uh huh.
It was found out that I don't know if he really experienced stigmata, but it was found out that he kept cutting his hands open to quote unquote prolong the stigmata.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. So that kind of makes me question: did he initially just like run knives or nails through his hands just so that he could sit there and, you know, oh, I'm experiencing stigmata. See, Jesus is real.
Oh, jeez, yeah. And don't ever get me started on how many pedophiles are in the Catholic Church as
Oh,
well.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm I'm not against Catholics, but some of the practices,
Yeah.
and like even though I know that's not like a proper actual practice, it's just like an occurrence. Um, I don't like.
Yeah, yeah. Well, shit happens. Anyway, I get that's it. Call for this podcast. JMAA.tv. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, even YouTube, all that sort of shit. Want to say something else, Connie?
Um, well, if you want to check me out, Iconic Art 55 NSFW on Twitter. Like I said, heads up, it's an NSFW Twitter. Um, not taking commissions at the moment, but any kind of likes and retweets and stuff that's appreciated.
Yeah. All right. See you next time.